Wow, thank you very much. We have listened to a few talks already, and I know it's late, but it was great so far. And I think one thing that all connected all the talks is something that has something to do with values, something that we sometimes tend to oversee. And we can find these carriers of meaning everywhere. In politics, they're on election posters, right? Companies write them on walls. They're red threads to conferences like this here. And we as individuals use them as guidance when there are big decisions in our lives. Whereas goals, plans, and fears focus on the outcome. Values worry about the way we do things. They have a moral implication. They define how we want to continue to live. So to put it in very simple terms, values are situation-independent decision helpers. So no matter what context I'm in, I'm trying to stick to my own values, right? But when I started looking into the notion of values and the concepts behind it, I was overwhelmed by the sheer mass of abstract theories, of modules, and all these things. So when you type in personal values into Google, you can find over 900 million search results. So I started looking into values through things I experienced myself. For me, the beauty of values is that they are much more than intellectual concepts. I started writing them down as personal story. And one is about this Interrail ticket and the value of friendship. When I was 19, I started traveling. I wanted to see the diversity of Europe. I was done with my civilian service, and a friend and I, we bought tickets and got on the train. We shared chocolate with Spanish nuns. We discussed life with a Brazilian pilgrim. And we had amazing conversations along the way. What I learned was that friends are the perfect mirror you need.
Throwing my voice
Sometimes
on
they're
things,
stressed,
the whole
sometimes
carnival
they're
sample.
friendly,
I just
and
talked to Travis
sometimes,
Barker. I would never be in the middle.
critical.
I don't even know what's going on. I just got sent a song.
They help you
and
to be and to become
asked if I could create
and
a
stay
sample.
the best
Only
possible
reason
self.
why I clear anything is
And
because so many
stories
people
about
try to stop me.
respect and joy of life
Everything
followed
been
afterwards.
very difficult for me. So
And
I always,
if I would
me
ask
for
you to
something, I
think
was
about
clear,
a
but
personal
I'm not
story
cool with being
connected
put
to a
in
value,
the middle of all of this at all.
sure everybody
so
in the room
should be going
would think
viral
about a different
using
one.
my voice and all that. It's like I
Try,
didn't
for
do
example,
it.
respect.
Here we are with VS
Not
speaking
why it's
on
important in society,
an
but as a
AI
personal memory.
verse on
Maybe
Bard
one of you would share a
Barbie
story about a friend
Carnivore remix
teaching you
dissing
self-respect.
Travis Baker's
Maybe
daughter.
one
Yes,
of
hello
you
everyone,
would
welcome
share
back to
a
my
story about a
YouTube
Ganesh
channel.
statue your
One thing, don't
sister
hesitate
gave you
to
as a
subscribe,
gift before
tap
moving
on the
to
post
India.
notification bell from updates to come.
And maybe
And in today's
one
video,
of you
we are seeing
would share a
Yes
story about a
speaking
marmalade
on a
glass that your
verse
grandmother gave
on
you as a gift.
Barbie
And these examples are real stories from real
Carnivore
people
remix
And I think
dissing
the problem
Travis
is
Baker's
that we
daughter.
face.
When
that
we
they're
got to the
badly
comment
told.
section, one is
There's
saying
no
a young
space
man is
sharing these stories.
maturation begins
So
when
together with
he
friends, I
understands
decided
this mind.
I
Another
collect these
saying
stories.
he ran
And I
in his
created
legacy
the
last
Museum
3
of
albums
Values.
being made. Another saying AI music maker made about AI on music.
And we asked people
Another
to
saying
send
but he
us their
wants to
stories
use
connected to
AI
objects.
so bad.
The
Another
the
saying
objects are
the verse
witnesses
was
and relics
so good
that
too.
remind us on
Another
what's
saying
important.
2.77 billion and counting.
Because some of
Another
our objects
saying
that we
this
have,
means
they're
no
so deeply
AI
ingrained in our daily
let
lives
me cope.
that we tend
Another
to
saying thank you,
oversee
yeah, very cool.
what memory
But then
are in
coming
there
in to
and
say
what
now
life
maybe
lessons
you
are
will
connected to it.
understand why
Like
we don't like when
cassette
he
we used to
uses
see.
AI. So anyway, comment down below in my
shells
comment
we
section.
found at the
I
beach
love
we
you
love.
all. Leave down a comment.
Or
Bye bye and
old
ciao,
sneakers
ciao.
that we used to travel with. But some people know right away what their story is and what object they want to share. Like this pearl earring a young woman shared with us, describing the relationship to her father. That was one of the first objects we got. And it's about the loss of respect, and I would like to share that with you. My dad is my hero. No one I know embodies loyalty, moral, and honesty more than he does. All my life, I've been trying to live up to his standards and make him proud. After my parents broke up, he still acted in the most mature and respectful way. He eventually married his teenage love. My father, my new stepmother, and I got along very well. Everything seemed to work out, just like a fairy tale. Unfortunately, there is no fairy tale in life. One day I visited my parents' home and I found a pearl earring on the bathroom floor. My stepmother does not wear pearls. Coincidence? Perhaps. I confronted my father, and the lack of respect and cowardice towards his wife made my heroic image of him disappear. At the Museum of Values, we try to create a real space with real stories from real people like you and me. We want to make values accessible and tangible. We want to offer new perspectives and not dogmatic definitions. A space where there's no right and wrong. Our hope is that we spark curiosity and create a space where people feel safe in to open up, to explore their values and reflect on them and interact with others. The objects and the stories are just catalysts, a starting point to make you think. When you come into our exhibitions, we ask you to open your mind and let the stress of your daily lives behind. The second step is offering new perspectives, is exploring new perspectives. We invite you to read over 50 stories connected to different values and have a look at the objects. The third and last step is, after diving into all these unique and diverse experiences and stories, we ask you, we encourage you to reflect on your own values and share them with others. When we started, no traditional gallery thought this would work in any way. Nobody would have the patience to read that many stories. Nobody would be interested in normal people's objects. Nobody would care enough. Would care enough about each other's values and stories. And after our first exhibition, we found out, in the most beautiful way, that we do care. People stay way longer than we expected. They shared their stories. Now we have over 200 stories and objects connected to it. And most importantly, people open up in our exhibitions to reflect on their own values, like this little note somebody gave us. So for us, the Museum of Values became way more than a steady exhibition. We started working with schools, with organizations, and with other initiatives. And for me personally, it helped me to grow as a person. I started reflecting on my own values. It challenged myself and pushed me. So I would like to encourage you to think about values in a different way. Values are the social glue that hold us together with all our beautiful differences. If you let your friends, your family, and most importantly your partner know why a certain value is important to you, and share that through stories and not through abstract definitions, you get the chance to make connections on an entirely different level. And especially in times where there's mistrust and fear. Where mistrust and fear are sometimes stronger than love, faith, and hope. We encourage you to share or to genuinely share your stories and sincerely listening to others, to tear down at least a few walls between us. So, whenever you have a minute to pause your busy life, I would love to encourage you to think about your own values and write them down in personal stories. Don't overthink. They might change over time, but it's a start. And most importantly, share them with people you love. Thank you very much.
It's lunchtime, and the cafeteria is jam-packed. You balance your books and your corn dog as you make your way through the crowd. Someone bumps into you. To hold on to everything but one of the books. So bend down to pick up your dog-eared copy of Hunger Games. Oh, your pants tear Embarrassment occurs in a boomerang-shaped region right behind the eyes called, ready for this? Pregenual anterior cingulate cortex. I mean, that's a mouthful, but you can just remember it as PAC. You know, like, Pac My belongings, I am moving to Canada and never returning.
To try to
Embarrassed.
make it fresh. He didn't do
Researchers
nothing to
at
try to
UC
make it
Berkeley
fresh in there.
discovered that the PAC lights up whenever someone's embarrassed.
Little motherfucker
They did this
gonna
in an
try to
experiment
rob
where they
me.
forced subjects
Well,
to
I'm gonna
get
show
this,
you how we do it
sing
up
the
here in
Temptation
Vegas,
song "My Girl" a cappella.
I wasn't trying to rob.
Watch a video of their performances.
Before I bust a cap
Alright.
up in your ass.
Activity in
Now,
PAC
what you done done
shot
with
up
Day-Day and
and
Roach?
corresponded with sweaty hands,
That
racing
is my
heartbeats,
pe- Shut up!
and general expressions of "Oh my God, this is horrible."
Now who sent you, nigga?
That's where we come in. It's time for our
Nobody
3 tips
sent
to
me.
getting
another
over
motherfucking word,
embarrassment.
and this shit is over.
Step 1.
And I ain't
Force
playing,
yourself
nigga.
not to be the center of the universe. You need to
Nah.
convince yourself that whatever just happened
You ain't got no
isn't as
gun.
big a deal as your mind is rapidly making it.
But where the weed
Odds
at?
are it isn't. In
I ain't
fact,
got no
here's a
shut the
tested
fuck-
scientific
shut-
principle called the spotlight effect. It states that other people don't notice nearly
Say
as
it
many
again.
of your
Say something
guffaws
else. Oh.
as you think they do.
Say something else.
One experiment
Say
that tested
something else,
this
nigga.
had a bunch of college students wear
I'ma
bright
tie your old monkey
yellow
ass up.
Barry Manilow emblazoned t-shirts.
Oh,
to do introductory symptoms. Afterwards, the students were asked how many of their classmates they thought
He
noticed
been
the ugly
doodling for a
t-shirt.
long time when he was
Invariably,
a kid. He
the
doodled
guest
in
number
church.
was much,
They had
much
to run
higher
everybody.
than the
The pastor
actual.
was the only one that could stay in there.
So,
through the
first things
blessings of
first,
God.
deep breath, the mantra. Science says it's not as big a deal as the brain thinks it is. Step 2. Don't apologize. Deal with it.
I ain't not crazy.
Guys,
We
the
was
worst thing you
swimming
can
pool.
do
We
after
was
calling
swimming
a
when
lot
we
of
was little
attention to
one
yourself
time. He
is
floated up
drawing
like a
even
submarine.
more
I
attention
was
by
just swimming,
apologizing
and
a
I thought it
lot.
was a chocolate
Instead,
payday. I was
don't.
swimming like a motherfucker. I'm just
If you incessantly
Flip,
apologize
flip, and it
after an
kinda hit
embarrassing
my-
incident, big deal, when they should treat it as such. Step 3. Don't dwell, change the channel.
need to show me
There's
pictures.
a big
Well, I'll
difference
make
between
my money,
embarrassment
yeah.
and
Who
shame.
knows if Billy will want to be from?
Embarrassment is often
I think me
a
and Summer's
natural,
finally over the hump, by the way.
unavoidable reaction to a
So to speak.
But continue to fixate on the habit, playing the moment over and over again in your head. Embarrassment turns into shame. You don't want to carry that around with you. Instead, imagine your mind as a TV. An embarrassing situation
Try her now.
is
Hold on a
an
second.
obnoxious sitcom that's forever in syndication. Change the channel and replace it off with a good memory or a joke or a book that you read that you really liked.
Don't say nothing like
Anything to get rid of that junk.
that. Hell yeah.
Let's recap.
Look, man, I gotta
Embarrassment
take this pan, man. I
is
hope
a
Craig got
completely
some
healthy
stuff on.
reaction
Why
to
you
an
not
awkward
taking
situation. Force yourself to
Yeah,
remember
man,
that
long
this
time.
is a big
Let's go
deal
clean
in
up,
nobody
man,
else's
before Pinky
eyes
gets back.
but your own. Don't apologize. Instead, try to downplay the moment. And don't replay what happened over and over again.
Shut up!
Change the
I've
channel.
been trying to tell your ass.
Tweet us at
He
WatchWellcast,
in the back.
email us at watchwellcast@gmail.com, or leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Man. Just take it all, baby. It's all yours, man. Just don't kill me, please. I got kids, man. I got a motherfucking girlfriend. I got a wife on the side, man. Shut up!